Everyone. My name is Mihir, and I will be presenting on comprehensive strategies for AstraZeneca. AstraZeneca is a British-Swedish pharmaceutical and biotech company listed in London Stock Exchange with a ticker symbol AZN. It's known for its products in oncology, cardiovascular diseases, gastrointestinal, respiratory, and inflammatory diseases. Most recently, it was known for its COVID-19 vaccine developed with Oxford. Some of the key takeaways in this presentation are going to be from market and industry analysis, which includes the most recent legal issues in China, the financial analysis, short-term and long-term objectives and strategies, and we will also cover some of the implementation plan and KPIs for monitoring and evaluation. The market and industry analysis was conducted for AstraZeneca. Uh, Market trends. Aging population drives demand for healthcare, and there is an increased prevalence of chronic diseases in the market. It also, uh, the industry is also transitioning into a more personalized medicine and similar kind of medicines. And there is a lot of regulatory hurdles and pricing pressures in the market. At the same time, AstraZeneca faces competition from other companies such as Merck, Pfizer, Novartis, etc. However, there is a lot of scope for collaborations and mergers in this industry. One other thing that AstraZeneca faces is patent cliffs. In a complex regulatory environment, there is bound to be a lot of processes for approvals and clinical trials. So navigating that becomes a complex issue, especially with AstraZeneca's presence in various markets. Uh, AstraZeneca also needs to establish local manufacturing and supply chains, not just in US, but in all the countries it operates in. So brief overview of the financial analysis of AstraZeneca. So in the FY22, sales growth was recorded at 17.67%. However, in FY23, the growth in sales has reduced to just 1.83%. It is increasing, but the huge drop in sales was because of the slowdown in COVID-19 vaccine sales. Now that it has gone down, AstraZeneca needs to find another source of product sales to bank on. The second thing is we're going to be looking at is the liquidity ratio and debt to equity ratio. Although not desirable, these numbers are not that bad for AstraZeneca. One of the key things that the company should keep in mind is to not get into excessive debt, while working down some of its obligations right now. This is really crucial as it gets into new markets and focus areas because there will be a lot of upfront costs with R&D as well as establishing manufacturing and supply chains. The US was AstraZeneca's biggest revenue giver, as seen in the graphic below, with almost $20,771 million, whereas UK and the rest of Europe were smaller portions. However, Asia, Africa, and Australia have a lot of growth potential. Therefore, looking at the financial analysis, AstraZeneca has a huge potential to venture into these markets. Based on market and industry analysis and the financial analysis, there are three strategic recommendations for AstraZeneca. One is to improve the financial performance. AstraZeneca has been doing well, but it can do better. R&D budgets need to increase by at least 5% annually. Research shows that companies that invest into more into R&D shows about 4 to 6% returns more than the companies that do not invest into R&D. The company also needs to target a 10% annual growth, which is helped by having more profit margins in the short term. The second thing is to diversify product portfolio. AstraZeneca relies heavily on its oncology project products for most of its revenue. So it needs to diversify its portfolio and ensure that patent cliffs are not going to be an issue for them by getting into more into respiratory rare diseases and reducing their dependence on oncology. Third recommendation would be to establish industry leadership. As the industry moves into personalized medicine using AI, as well as conducting virtual clinical trials, AstraZeneca has this huge potential to become a pioneer in that field. Uh, when also venturing into emerging markets such as India, China, and Latin America, it needs to keep in mind that it is establishing their presence to kind of create new leadership and fill vacuum over there. Implementation plan and KPIs have been broken down into two categories. One is the short term and the long term. The short term focuses for 0 to 5 years, and then long term would be 5 to 10 years and so on. So the first thing would be to expand into new therapy areas such as lung and breast cancers, which have unmet medical needs at this point. There also needs to be collaboration on creating new products and diversifying its portfolios. And by collaborating with new institutions and new partners, they can also attract newer talent and then retain them. And then another implementation plan is to transition to all AI-based operations to improve some of its operational efficiencies and reduce the cost of doing business. So therefore, increasing the profit margins and the revenues. In the long term, however, it needs to expand into newer areas, newer research areas by, establishing newer therapy areas and, newer markets as well. The second thing would be to establish, local manufacturing facilities in emerging markets so as to reduce the cost of doing business over there and cost of manufacturing. It also needs to form strategic partnerships in the long term to ensure that AstraZeneca sales and then the growth of the company is present. Key performance indicators would be reviewed based on these, implementation strategies. They need to be reviewed quarterly as well as annually. So one thing would be, looking at sales and revenue, seeing how much is growing, market share with compared to other competitors, looking at how many patients they treat, looking at R&D investments, as we discussed earlier. It is a huge aspect of company growth. Talent acquisition and retention is going to be a key indicator to see how many employees are satisfied and staying on and are not leaving. On the other hand, there needs to be innovation as well. Time to market from research and development to product launches is going to be really crucial. The number of patent filings need to be reviewed and make sure that AstraZeneca is keep on innovating. The percentage of AI implementation in the long-term path to all AI operations, it needs to be reviewed quarterly and annually to see how much of their operations have been converted to AI, as well as the success of projects in the pipeline. Some of the conclusions: AstraZeneca is a strong firm with robust products as well as good financial health. However, it faces intense competition, legal issues, and as well as patent cliffs among regulatory hurdles. It has a huge potential to make operations more efficient and expand into new markets. So some of these next steps have been based on its strengths, and then some of them have been recommended to navigate their weaknesses. So detailed implementation plan needs to go in right away. They need to conduct a gap analysis to launch new products. Keep regularly monitoring those key performance indicators to make sure that they are on track. and maintain strong relationships with stakeholders, including governments, investors, regulators, and healthcare providers. That is all. Thank you so much.